看来教一下。
Yeah， 我多1个星期应该看会了。Then 我看你们要用 ，but I don't think you use. It's not the kind you would like to use one. It's not as clear as indicators. So I don't think you will like it. Yeah. It just tells you what you call it. More long positions open, more short positions open. Like that only to give the indicator. Yeah, it's like it's forecasting law.
No, I'm saying mine has started the broadcast already.
Okay.
All right, hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Optional Forex YouTube show. So today I have with me a special guest, which is Alexis. I think I'm going to divulge a secret. Alexis, sometimes on her own, she also trades reversals. Yeah. So without further ado, let me start the show. Okay. Sharing screens. All right, so for this week, there's only one pair which I'm going to show that I think that might possibly reverse, and that's actually the dollar yen. So this is only the 5th of October, start of the month. So start of the month, I always like to look at the monthly chart. This is just a habit of mine, which is proved so far so good. Yeah. So the monthly chart, I think the previous 2 YouTube sessions whereby I've been sharing reversals is based on weekly charts. So in the middle of the month, I'll look at weekly charts. At the start of the month, I'll look at monthly charts. I hope that makes sense to you. And for this month, October, there's only one pair that is highlighted that might possibly have a reversal. In fact, this pair has been showing up consistently for the past 3 months already. So that's dollar yen for you. As you can see, that dollar yen on my RSI 6. On the monthly, I'm using RSI 6, by the way. That's different from weekly. It's showing that this is consistently oversold. So on the daily chart, so you can see that price has indeed, price has indeed make a bottom, come up, make a higher low. Yeah. So in fact, if today's bar proved to be a really bullish bar, engulfing bar, tomorrow it will be an entry for me already. Yeah. So on my MACD signal, on my MACD, this is also a signal. You can see that price goes up, price goes down, and then today's bar ends up as a buying signal on my MACD. Yeah, so if all goes well, if Donald Trump does not do anything idiotic, sorry, if there's any Trump supporter, yeah, then I will actually go on a dollar yen long. Now, one thing I forgot to mention on the past 2 sessions is that whenever I trade reversals, I don't go for 1:1, 1:2, or 3:1, this kind of risk reward. If I'm reversal for me is that if I enter, I meant with every part of my trading habit, character, necessity, whichever way you deem it, I meant to get 10:1 risk to reward. Yeah. If I don't get 5:1, 6:1, 7:1, this kind, ultimately 10:1. If I don't get this kind of risk to reward, it's really a waste of my time trading reversals. Yeah. Reversals are really meant for me to write the entire trend because it's really the start of, possibly the start of a new trend. Right? So I forgot to clarify that. Yeah. So there's no 1:1 kind of take profit for me. It's either a really big winner or I don't get anything. Yep, so that's reversal for me. And this is the only chart I have, dollar yen, about to go long. In fact, I believe I did share this analysis last week. on the Telegram signal, on the Telegram broadcast chat. Yeah, so price has indeed made a very, very nice bounce off the horizontal area. Alexis, just now I was chatting with her, she was sharing what, pound yen, am I right?
Yeah, pound yen.
Was that pound yen to go for short?
Pound yen. Yeah, let me see. I think it's actually Aussie cat is short, but that's also sort of a reversal of a trend line. That's Aussie cat. Pound yen. Wait, is it the correct one? Let me double check.
Sorry, I just randomly called you.
Yeah. Pound yen, I'm looking for short, but I don't think it's going to happen until it retraces a little bit more, because it is still, I mean, on the daily time frame, it still looks quite bullish. So I think a little bit more retracement, and on the daily, there's like a head and shoulders there. So I'm waiting for a bit more retracement before going short for pound yen. But I'm looking for a short opportunity, so just have to wait it out.
Alexis might have a point, because you can see that price is making higher low, second higher low. On the daily time frame, I think price might actually go back all the way up to 138. Yep, 138. Yeah, I do have a strong level at 140. Yeah. So at this point, usually at 138, we can begin to suspect that pound yen might possibly reverse at this point of time. Yeah, so for trend traders, we still have enough space to get our TP1s. Yeah, then our TP2 might be at 140. Ultimately, I will agree with Alexis that at some point or not around this area, pound yen is going to reverse. Yeah, definitely not at this. I don't think it will reverse actually at this stage. Might be a bit premature. It's fun for reversal, right? We can talk about trend and reversals both in the same breath. I hope that does not confuse anyone. All right, so with that, that's pound yen from Alexis. If she got it wrong, then you can demand a cup of coffee from her next week.
No, but must wait, okay? Not now.
Yeah, so wait.
Yeah, wait first.
At least, I'll say is at least wait for price to get to 138.3 thereabouts. Yeah, because this will be a good area to actually look for any short positions. You can see that price did in the past from this area, it did interact quite nicely. Yeah, otherwise just wait until all the way to 140. All right, so with that, not much to share for reversals this week. I'll hop on to the next thing that I'm going to share. So I've already shared at the start of this show, which is 2 weeks back. What did I share? Yeah, so I shared one tool, which is my FX book, which is really a website for charting purposes, not charting, sorry. What do you call it? Journaling. Last week I shared this indicator, which is average candles. I don't know how many of you back tested it. Personally, I find it quite useful. This week, what I'm going to share is actually my FX helper. This is actually a mobile app. Yeah, so you can actually, I checked, Apple iOS has it, Google Store also has it. So this is the application, my FX helper. Yeah, forget about the Forex signal part. All right, but what I'm going to share with you is that what this application can do for you, or rather the functions that it has. So before we download, just let me go ahead and I'm going to take several screenshots. Yeah, this is proving to be a bit troublesome. All right, so once you download, this will be the login screen. I hope you can see the picture, right? Okay. So you can see straight away, you can see all the latest news. Yeah, news today, whatever which is necessary, you can actually read it. Yeah. These two beside, it would actually direct you, all these three, it will actually direct you to a Telegram group. I don't suggest you joining, but actually click on it. Really, it's just random Forex signal. Yeah. I don't find it particularly useful, but if you all want to, be my guest, but please don't blindly trade it. Yeah. So just this app alone, which enables you to read news, I think is pretty useful. Then if you click at the top right hand corner,
Lloyd, I think you've lost your audio. You have been silent for a couple of seconds.
Am I back? Am I?
Yes. Now you're back. Yeah, we might have lost you just now. Probably like two screens ago.
Oh, here?
Somewhere here, yep.
Okay. So I just repeat again. Probably something is off with my mic. Yeah. So if you click at the home screen, you can see all the different menus. Yeah. I was mentioning that most of the Forex trading application that you see on the App Store or Google Store, you actually need to pay for it. But so far, I don't need to pay anything for this application. So that's the one reason I like it. The other reason is that if you look at the market trend, the currency strength, or whichever of it, most of it actually allows you to create an alert function. Yeah, so that's the biggest headache for me when I'm using currency strength is that most of the other applications, even the online websites one, doesn't allow me to create applications, alerts. That's a frustrating part. Yeah, but this one does allow you to do it. So let me see. For currency strength, it allows you to read the monthly, weekly, all the way to the M5. At a first glance, it automatically highlights to you what is the strongest and the weakest that you have. So I literally created this screenshot only like 20 minutes ago. So it tells you that last week, not this week, currency strength is a lagging indicator. Right? It's not a predictive indicator. It just tells you what has been done already. Right? So last week, Aussie seems to be the strongest, dollar seems to be the weakest, right, for the entire week. Right. So if you scroll down, it actually allows you, and this is the part I like about it, it actually allows you to create alerts for it. Okay, so any currency, if it's above whichever value that you key in, so let's say if you key in 70, it can actually alert you immediately. Yeah. So this is actually particularly useful for trend traders. Why do I say so? So let's say for now, whichever pair, okay, let's say dollar yen. Okay, so just now I shared that dollar yen might possibly reverse this week. So I'm going for dollar yen long. Now I need dollar yen long. That means I need USD needs to strengthen before before the price action would actually relate to it. Yeah. So here you can actually create alert. Let's say put in a value 70, then select the currency which is meant to be alerted for you. Yeah. Delay time, you can delay the alert whichever how many minutes that you prefer. Yeah. After that, if really dollar yen is bouncing off a horizontal level and USD is strengthening, then this will be sent to your mobile phone. Yeah, so this is the part where I find interesting and really useful. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. So you got my sound back. Now, what's the next one? Let me refer back to it. Right, so the next one, we actually have the market trend. Right, so the next on the list is actually market trend. Yeah, so immediately it will tell you these are the values for it: strong buy, sell, strong buy. Yeah, so this is what it means by SBSSS. It tells you the pivot level for the particular pair that you have highlighted. And then if you look at it, if you scroll down further on the screens, it will show you what all the currencies the buyers are currently, whether it's a strong buy or strong sell. Yeah. So again, for market trend, this will be useful for trend traders. Yeah. So the way I use currency strength is meant for trend trading, trend continuations. So this one immediately tells you at one glance which one you can actually, if you like trading on a lower time frame, then the strong sell actually does suit you. Yeah, because this usually is reading on the daily chart. Yeah. So different time frame, it will give you different values. Right. So if you want to trade on H1, then it makes sense to on D1 it is actually a strong sell. So on H1 you're just waiting either for consolidation or really a minor pullback, and then you can add in your short positions. So just play around with it. I'm sure you can find something. Now, the next screen on this is actually the buyer seller. Now, in the past, I actually used this to read, to try to predict reversals. So anything that is on the extreme, like in this case, 91 to 8%, it might be indicative that Aussie CAD would be reversing soon. Yeah. So this is how I use the buyer and seller. Is really a sentiment reading. Yeah. Not that this is particularly accurate, but like I mentioned, this is only one of the indications that I used in the past for possible reversals. Again, you can search through all the pairs and see one by one which one might be actually reversing. Now, the next ones will be useful for those of you. Oh, sorry. Again, for the sentiments reading, you can also set alert. Yeah. So I think the alert part is really the useful thing for me, because a lot of these functions, be it sentiment reading, currency strength, and market trend, I can find different applications for it. It can be found. It's just that usually most of the time I can't create alert. Then it becomes partially useful. Yeah. So alert is one really important function. All right. So the next one is actually for some of you who read COT, commitment of traders. Personally, I don't use it, and I have no idea how it functions. I think for actions to wealth traders, you can actually join Ray's course. It actually teaches you how to read COT. Yeah. So at first, when you load the application, it will take a long time to actually load up for the commitment of traders. It does need to put the data from external websites. Yeah. So the longest it took me was actually about a minute. Probably my headphone was slow. It's an old model. Yeah. But after that, this is what you see. Yeah. All the commodities that it is available. On top of that, you also have the different currency pair that you need to read for the COT. Yeah. I can't teach you how to read COT. I myself, I do not use it. Yeah. So this, if any of you find useful, you can actually feedback to me. Then I might be able to give more information on it. Hey, Alexis, I understand that you're starting to look at COT lately. Does this look familiar to you?
What currency is this?
No, this I have not actually sent currency, but this, even when I click, this is actually how it looks like.
It probably relates to a currency. I think usually I think you have to select a currency. It does look familiar, but I don't know which currency it relates to. So probably have to select a currency value.
So
because this data is for one currency usually.
Okay. Probably later I'll try to send in another screenshot and see if we can get it. All right, so the next one, let me go on to it. Right, so this is really for the lazy man's usage of this application. It's actually called all-in-one. Yeah. So you can actually select whichever currency that you need to, then it will tell you that currency reading straight away. It will also tell you the sentiments by a seller, and it will also tell you the trend which you should be going. Yeah. So it's actually named as all-in-one in the drop-down menu. So again, this is back to the strongest and weakest pair. So it will show you everything. So you can choose monthly, weekly, and daily. I still prefer using the currency strength over this. The main difference is that this one only tells you the value change for euro yen, and the value change for dollar CAD. That means dollar CAD last week yesterday. That means on Friday it moved a total of negative 149 pips. Euro yen moved the most. Yeah, so I don't find this particularly useful to me. Yeah, I'll still prefer to use the currency strength on its own. But this one serves the same function. So another way of using currency strength, which is the heat map. Yeah, so this is displayed. You can actually choose the higher time frame or the lower time frame. Yeah, so on the higher time frame, you have the monthly all the way to H4, and the lower time frame you have H1 all the way to M5. Yeah. Usually, from my understanding, for heat map, it will be useful for stoppers or anybody who decides to trade 30 minutes and below. And the last on my list, this is useful for traders, new traders. It just tells you the market sessions, whichever is opening or closing at the moment. Yeah. So for those of you who trade, who scout or who trades at a particular session, then this will be useful to you. Let me check. Unfortunately, you can't actually set alerts to it. Yeah, so there's no notification. Right, the last on the list is something which I myself I have completely no idea. It's called basket. I did not take a screenshot of it. Yeah, I understand there's a strategy called basket trading, but I have no idea how does it function. So I did not take the screenshot. Again, it's up to you all to actually explore. So I just go back to the very first one, which is the menu. Oh yeah. So one of the pages, which is the currency strength part, you can actually read the different readings for the standard oscillators. So this will be particularly useful for indicator traders, for people like me. So at one glance, I know which pair is actually oversold for either the RSI or the MACD. Yeah, I use the MACD most of the time, or Williams percent R for those of you who trade any strategy that is related to it. All right, so there you go. So these are the functions for it. Okay, let me see if I have any questions. Okay. One, coming back to pound yen chart just now. If dollar weakness happens, then yen may strengthen as a risk-on currency. Would that also mean the propensity to weaken against pound will be lower? Well, guys, for one, actually, what you're asking is what will happen in a fundamental way. My answer to you is that I have some idea what will happen, just that I choose to ignore fundamentally what will happen. Yeah. So your question is actually catered towards more towards the fundamental traders who are more affected by that. I would advise you to ask during the Sunday show towards people like Julian or Inslee and even Alexis. Yeah. So to me, all I trade currently, as I've strongly maintained, is I trade from indicators. As such, I'm a very, very strong technical trader. What would happen in the fundamental side of it, I choose to ignore and I don't care. Yeah. I don't mean any offense to it, because just that if I think to fundamentals, to me, I think it's a bit of brain overload. All right. From T, Lloyd, if I click on the time frame, the trend is supposed to reflect the trend at the time. Yes. Yeah, absolutely right. If you click on the time frame, the trend is supposed to reflect the trend at that particular time. So let's say on the daily chart, let's say I go on the market trend at the moment. Aussie yen is displaying a strong buy on the daily chart. I would see how that happens. So let me share my screen. So for those of you who have already installed the app, it's actually displaying Aussie yen as a strong buy. So you can see that price has essentially made price goes down, higher low. Yeah, so this is really the earliest you can go for as a trend trader to go for a long position. Yeah. In fact, I understand that for most trend traders, the first retracement is always the easiest, the hardest part to get in. Yeah, most trend trading strategy might not cater for the first retracement. So I would say it's actually rather accurate. Let me look at a different time frame. So let's say on the H1, H1 Aussie yen and Aussie Kiwi is also indicated as a strong buy. Yeah, so there's an Aussie yen chart for you. And Aussie Kiwi, yeah. So that will be the second retracement that's happening for Aussie Kiwi. So I would say all in all, it looks pretty solid to me. Okay, so then is, do I not find that the currency strength charts can change quickly as well? Yes, I do find that the currency trend charts can change quickly. So what I do is that usually I read the currency strength from as of yesterday. That means I read the daily ones. Yeah. So let's say last Friday, the currency strength which I read today was, give me a minute, let me see what was it. So it was really pound is really strengthening and then dollar is weakening. Yeah, that's as of last Friday. Yeah, pound dollar. Then what I will look for to trade on my own trading, pound dollar, let me have a look at it. We can see that on Friday, last Friday, it strengthens. So on today, what I'm looking to trade is on the hourly chart. I'm looking for any excuse that I can have to trade on the hourly chart. Yeah, so this might probably give me an indication to go in for pending order. Otherwise, I can always wait for a breakout, which has also happened anyway, happening now, I would say. Yeah. So I will always use the D1 to trade either the H1 and below, or I will use the weekly chart to trade the D1 and H4 time frame. Yeah. So that's how I will actually use the currency strength. So even if it moves quickly, it doesn't really bother me as much because I'm always using the daily and weekly to trade the lower time frame. Anyway, the information has already passed. Yeah. So it's really up to me how I decide to trade the H1 and below, whether I can catch the candle. I hope that clarifies. $76.09 will be the first on daily on Aussie yen. I don't quite catch that. Aussie yen, let me go back to Aussie yen. 76.09? That's really far. Well, that is your last question. I don't truly understand. In the meantime, I will just grab one screenshot of the topic more of traders. I will choose the Euro FX. Let's see if Alexis can shed some light on that. On my own, I should really also learn how to read it, just for the fun of it. Okay, let me grab the screen. All right, guys, just give me a minute. I'm sending a screenshot to myself. All right, so Alexis, do you mind helping me out? So this is the what I have for the COT for Euro FX futures, and I have it for the commercials.
See, let me just see. Okay, so I have recently been trying to figure out how to use the COT. All right, so please take this with a pinch of salt. Let me just refer. Okay, so the numbers are a bit different on different platforms, but basically from how I see this chart, it's a little bit, they give the total, so it's not, I wouldn't say it's,
but bear in mind,
exactly,
Alexis,
yeah.
this one updated is on the 29th of September, so it might not be the one that you have seen, which might be.
No, it's correct, because the COT
correct, okay.
is released every week. So every week there is a new COT number, right? So if you see our dates down there, they don't show the dates every week, which is so I'm not sure how accurate this is, because what the COT does is every week they actually review the futures and options positions on how many longs and shorts are being held. So I would say take this. I think my FX helper is very generic because you can see that the last week is actually 20 something of 22 or something of September. So it is not quite. I would say not as accurate as I would have liked comparatively to some of the other websites that have this free data. And the net long and short position, I think based on what I understand is, so for example, your long positions are 319,000 plus, and short positions are 554,000. It's a little bit different from what I see here because your figure is commercials, but the non-commercials. Oh, I know. Can you click on the non-commercial button?
I can't. This is a screenshot.
Oh yeah, screenshot. All right, all right. So the difference between commercials and non-commercials is, I think when we trade, we look at the non-commercials instead of the commercials because the commercials, by what I've been reading so far, it will mean those people who the trader, not the like Forex traders, but the people who deal in who actually need the currency to do import, export, etc. So those are called commercials where they do it for business, and the non-commercials are the hedge funds.
Oh.
So yeah, like the hedge funds, the actual big traders.
So probably the values you read from non-commercials. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes, correct. So the non-commercial values are the ones where like the big funds, the big hedge funds, are trading. So so that's the definition of commercials versus non-commercial. So commercial traders, they buy and sell currency to hedge against their product or whatever import export they do. The non-commercials are the big fund managers, the big fund managers and hedge fund managers that are trading, opening long and short positions. So if you are using it to trade, then the non-commercial button would be better. And from what I see on this site is, for the euro, there are currently more long positions than short positions. Yeah, I mean, as in the futures positions, there are people there are traders holding more longs than shorts. And the difference between last week and this week is, I would say that it looks a little bit more bullish if I am reading it correctly, because traders are holding more long positions compared to short positions.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah.
So all right, guys, I have to emphasize that I'm not a COT trader. Alexis is just also dipping her toes wet. But I would still say maintain that this function is quite interesting. Just explore on your own. I only serve to actually introduce something that I think is interesting to you all. So yeah, give it a try. Thank you, Alexis, for your interpretation. Thank you.
No problem. I've sent you the link for what I was looking at, and this is a free one, so you can just flash it if you want. It's a free. You don't have to sign in. Don't have to sign up for everything. It's basically a free website. You can see whether you want to flash that.
I will flash in. So from Dennis, just one last question. To go long on an odd ZEN on daily, I would want to be above 76.09 or before the trade. Well, Dennis, that is from your technical analysis on your part. You see, currency strength does not give you where to trade from or where you should be placing a trade. Yeah, so if you want to trade from horizontal level, by all means, yes, you should do it. Okay, so that's all. But for the currency strength, it does not show you where you should be. It just shows you the current bias of it. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining this show. I put Anna, so I can't actually share Alexis' link. I'll share probably next week because we need to start another show soon. Goodbye everyone, and thank you.